心優しく、そして少しばかりお人よしな皆様、どうか今すぐに、その曖昧な優しさ、という名の猛毒を、きっぱりと捨て去ってください。許すことは美徳である。皆様はそのように教え込まれてきたことでしょう。しかし、あえて強い言葉でお伝えさせていただきます。盲目的な許しこそが、皆様の人生を地獄へと引きずり込む元凶なのです。悪意あるものを増長させ、皆様の大切な魂を食い尽くさせる最大の罪、それは他ならぬ皆様ご自身の弱腰な許しにあるのです。私、出口鬼三郎でございます。本日は、ある重大な勘違いを正すために参りました。皆様は、日々このように嘆いてはいらっしゃいませんか。なぜ人生がうまくいかないのだろう。人間関係に疲れてしまった。なぜか自分ばかりが損をしている気がすると。本日のお話は、世間一般で語られるような、耳当たりの良い道徳の授業ではございません。むしろ、これまでの常識を根底から覆すような、劇薬とも言える内容になるかもしれません。今回のテーマは、許すと地獄を見る、というお話でございます。世の中には、許すことは愛である。広い心を持ちましょうなどと説く方々がたくさんいらっしゃいます。確かに、神仏のような高尚な魂のレベルにおいて、すべてを包み込む愛というものは存在いたします。ですが、皆様が現実社会で実践されている許しは、残念ながらそのような立派なものではないことが多いのです。それは単なる逃げであり、ただの事なかれ主義であり、そして何より、悪を増長させてしまう共犯行為になりかねないのです。私は長年、数えきれないほどの人間模様を見つめてまいりました。その中で、最も悲惨な末路をたどるのは、極悪非道な人間ではありません。意外に思われるかもしれませんが、悪人は法で裁かれるか、あるいは自滅するかで勝負がつきます。本当に救いようのない泥沼にはまり込んでしまうのは、皆様のような中途半端な善人なのでございます。悪を悪として見抜くことができず、不快なことをされても曖昧に笑って済ませ、搾取されても私が我慢すれば丸く収まると言い訳をして、相手を許し続けてしまう。その結果、どうなると思われますか。皆様の心は荒廃し、相手はますます図に乗り、周囲の人間まで巻き添えにして、皆様の世界はまさに地獄と化してしまうのです。どうか、よくお聞きください。この世には、皆様の想像を絶するような奪うものが存在いたします。彼らは、皆様の許しを餌にして肥え太る、心の怪物のごとき存在です。本日は、私がその正体と、皆様が知らず知らずのうちに陥っている地獄のメカニズムを、徹底的に解き明かしてまいりましょう。そして、そこから這い上がり、真に強く、誰にも侵されることのない立派な魂として生き直すための知恵を皆様に授けたいと存じます。一つ目は、感謝の念を持たぬまま、当然のような顔をして要求を繰り返すものでございます。皆様の周りにもお心当たりがいらっしゃるのではないでしょうか。困っているからというので助けて差し上げた。お金もお貸しし、時間も割き、お知恵もお貸しした。最初は殊勝な態度を見せていたかもしれません。ですが、一度助けられると、それが当たり前になり、二度目からはお礼の言葉もなく、三度目にはもっとしてくれて当然だと言わんばかりに要求してくるような方々です。お人よしの皆様は、このようにお考えになることでしょう。彼も困っているのだから、今回だけは許してあげよう。私が見捨てたら彼がかわいそうだと。ですが、それは大きな間違いでございます。皆様のその思考こそが、彼を恩知らずの怪物へと育て上げてしまっているのです。私は何度も見てまいりました。こうした手合いは、皆様が限界を迎えてお断りをした瞬間、手のひらを返したように皆様を罵り始めるのです。冷たい人間だ。裏切り者だと。皆様がそれまで注いできた愛情も時間も、すべて無に帰すどころか、恨みの種へと変わってしまうのです。なぜかお分かりになりますか。それは、皆様が最初に許しすぎてしまったからです。感謝のない要求を許すということは、相手に対して私はあなたの奴隷でございます。私は雑に扱っても構わない人間でございます。というメッセージを送っているのと同じことなのです。 彼らは皆様の優しさにつけ込んでいるのではありません。皆様の弱さを敏感に嗅ぎつけているのです。泥棒にお伊勢を与えるようなことはなさらないでください。感謝のできない人間に情けをかけるのは、溝にお金を捨てるよりもたちが悪いのです。なぜなら、皆様の魂が私は価値のない人間だと自己否定を始めてしまうからです。これを地獄と言わずして、何と表現すればよいのでしょうか。二つ目は、自分の不幸を武器にして、皆様のエネルギーを吸い取るものでございます。私はこんなに辛いのです。昔、こんなひどいことをされました。誰も私のことを分かってくれません。お会いするたびに、愚痴、不平、不満、悪口を垂れ流す方がいらっしゃいます。皆様はお優しいですから、とうなずいてお聞きになるのでしょう。それは大変でしたね。辛かったですねとお慰めになる。彼らが皆様に対して行った非礼や配慮のなさについても、あの人は今、辛い時期だから仕方がないと許してしまうのです。ですが、お気づきでいらっしゃいますか。そのような方とお会いした後、皆様はどっとお疲れが出るのではございませんか。頭が重く、気分が沈み、何もやる気が起きなくなることはありませんか。それは、皆様の大切な生命力が吸い取られた証拠でございます。彼らは解決など求めて羽織りません。皆様という受け皿に、ご自身の心の檻を捨てに来ているだけなのです。皆様が許して受け入れれば受け入れるほど、彼らは味を占めて、次から次へと不満を持参してくることでしょう。私は断言いたします。不幸自慢をする人間に、安易に同情してはなりません。彼らはその不幸な境遇に酔いしれ、そこに安住してしまっているのです。皆様が慰め、許すことで、彼らは自分は被害者だ。だから周りが配慮すべきだという、歪んだ特権意識を強めるだけなのです。皆様の大切なお時間は、皆様ご自身の素晴らしい人生を創造するためにございます。他人の感情の処理をするためにあるのではございません。それを許し続けることは、皆様ご自身が、ご自身の命を冒涜していることと同じなのでございます。そのような慈悲は、真の慈悲ではありません。共倒れの心中と言うべきものでしょう。三つ目は、約束を破り、嘘をつき、それを笑ってごまかすものでございます。時間は命そのものでございます。約束を破るということは、他人の命の一部を削り取ったということと同じでございます。それをごめん、寝坊してしまって、ちょっとうっかりしておりましてなどと、軽々しい言葉で済ませようとする人間。そしてそれを彼らしいから、悪気はないのだからと許してしまう皆様。ここに、決定的な間違いがございます。悪気がないから許すのではありません。悪気がないからこそ、たちが悪いのでございます。自覚のない悪、無神経な罪こそが、最も深く人を傷つけるのです。一度や二度の過ちは、誰にでもあることでしょう。ですが、それを繰り返す人間、反省の色が見えず、同じ言い訳を繰り返す人間を許し続けることは、皆様が私の時間は価値がありません。私との約束は破ってもいい程度のものですと宣言していることと同じなのでございます。皆様が許すたびに、相手の誠実さは失われ、皆様の尊厳は踏みにじられていきます。やがて彼らは、皆様以外の重要な約束も平気で破るようになり、社会的な信用を失うことでしょう。その時、皆様はこう思うのです。あの時、私が厳しく突き放していれば、彼はここまで堕落しなかったかもしれないと。そうです。皆様の許しが、彼から成長の機会を奪ってしまったのです。無責任な優しさは、罪作りなものなのでございます。ここまでは、対人関係における許しの弊害についてお話ししてまいりました。ですが、この地獄の入り口は、もっと身近なところにも口を開けております。それは職場や組織における、皆様の態度でございます。四つ目は、責任転嫁をする上司や同僚を許すことでございます。皆様はお仕事ができる方でしょう。真面目でいらっしゃる。だからこそ、他人の尻拭いをさせられることが多いのではないでしょうか。あいつはまだ不慣れだから、部長はお忙しいからと、本来皆様がなさるべきではないお仕事まで押し付けられ、それを黙ってお引き受けになってしまう。 皆様はそれを強力だと思っていらっしゃるかもしれません。ですが、それは違います。それは甘やかしであり、組織を腐敗させる加担でございます。お仕事をなさらない方が、なぜ仕事をしないままでいられるのか。それは皆様が、彼らの分まで働いてしまうからでございます。皆様がカバーすればするほど、彼らは自分がやらなくてもなんとかなると学習してしまいます。そして、皆様が倒れられたとき、彼らは感謝するどころか、なんでやってくれないんだと不満を漏らすことでしょう。ご自身の許容量を超えてまで、他人の責任を背負ってはなりません。それは自己犠牲ではありません。自己破壊でございます。そして、組織全体にとっても、無能な人間を温存させる害悪でしかありません。それは私の仕事ではありません。ここまでしかできませんとはっきりと断る勇気をお持ちください。それが言えないのは、皆様が嫌われたくない、評価を下げたくないという保身の心を、協調性という言葉できれいにラッピングして、ご自身を許していらっしゃるからなのです。厳しく線引きをなさってください。ご自身の領分をお盛りください。それこそが、プロフェッショナルというものでございます。5つ目は、無礼な振る舞いを個性として許すことでございます。最近は多様性などという言葉が流行っておりますが、それを履き違えているものが多く見受けられます。挨拶をしない、時間を守らない、言葉遣いが乱暴である。これをあいつは帰国子女だから、クリエイター気質だからなどと、勝手な解釈で許してはいらっしゃいませんか。礼節を欠く人間に、優れた仕事などできるはずがございません。人間の基本ができていないものを、能力があるからと特別扱いし、その無礼を許し続ければ、やがてその組織のモラルは崩壊いたします。皆様がもしリーダー的立場にいらっしゃるなら、なおさらでございます。一人の無礼者を許すことは、真面目に働いている他の大多数の方々への侮辱となります。ここではそのような振る舞いは許されませんと、毅然と諭すのが皆様のお役目でございます。それを見て見ぬふりをするのは、皆様ご自身の怠慢であり、事なかれ主義の極みと言えましょう。波風を立てたくないという皆様の弱さが、組織という船に穴を開けているのです。その穴から水が入り込み、全員が沈むことになってしまいますよ。さて、ここからが本番でございます。さらに深く、もっと恐ろしい地獄のお話をいたしましょう。それは、皆様がご自分自身に対して行っている、甘ったれた許しのお話でございます。ここが最も重要でございます。どうか、心を開いてよくお聞きください。皆様は、ご自分を許しすぎてはいらっしゃいませんか。今日は疲れたから、やるべきことを先送りにしてもいいだろう。あの人は才能があるから特別だ。凡人の私は努力しなくても仕方がない。ついカッとなってひどいことを言ってしまったが、私だってストレスが溜まっていたんだ。そのようにして、ご自身の怠惰、嫉妬、未熟さを安易な言葉で許し、慰めてはいらっしゃいませんか。自分を許すという言葉は、大変美しい響きを持っております。ですが、多くの人間にとって、それはただの停滞の口実になってしまっているのです。現状維持のための麻酔と言っても過言ではありません。鏡をご覧になってみてください。今の皆様のお姿、生活、環境、それはすべて、過去の皆様がまあいいかとご自分を許し続けてきた結果の集大成なのでございます。だらしない体型も、満たされない預金残高も、希薄な人間関係も、すべて皆様が今日はやらなくていい。嫌なことは後回しでいい。言わなくてもわかるだろう。と、ご自分自身の弱さを許し、甘やかしてきたツケが回ってきているのでございます。私が地獄を見ると申しますのは、このことでございます。自分への安易な許しは、皆様の魂を腐らせるカビのようなものです。最初は小さくても、放っておけば心全体を覆い尽くし、情熱も、志も、行動力も、すべてを食い尽くしてしまいます。そしてお気づきになった時には、皆様は何者にもなれなかった自分、何も成し遂げられなかった人生、という、冷たく暗い牢獄の中に閉じ込められていることに気づくのです。その時になってこんなはずじゃなかったと涙を流しても遅いのです。その牢獄の鍵をかけたのは、他の誰でもない、 日々の小さな怠惰を許し続けた皆様ご自身なのですから。例えば、健康について考えてみましょう。皆様は暴飲暴食をなさってはいませんか？運動不足を感じながら、ソファで寝転がってはいらっしゃいませんか？今日だけはご褒美だ。明日からダイエットすればいい。そのようにご自分を許し、欲望のままに振る舞ってしまう。その一口、その一時の快楽が、皆様の血管を傷つけ、内臓を痛めつけ、将来の病魔を育てているのでございます。体は魂の器でございます。器を粗末に扱うものを、天が祝福するはずがございません。病気になってから神様助けてくださいと祈っても、それは虫が良すぎるというものです。神は皆様に、健康を維持するための知恵も意志もお与えになっているのです。それを放棄し、ご自分を甘やかし続けた結果としての病苦は、まさに自業自得の地獄と言えましょう。ご自分の肉体を管理できない人間に、人生を管理することなどできるわけがございません。食欲一つ、睡眠欲一つコントロールできずに、どうして大きな夢をつかめるというのでしょうか。次に、金銭についてでございます。これくらいなら買ってもいいか、ボーナスが入るから大丈夫だろう。そのように無計画な浪費をご自分に許してはいらっしゃいませんか。あるいは、投資の勉強なんて難しいからと、無知なご自分を許し、将来への備えを放棄してはいらっしゃいませんか。お金はエネルギーでございます。皆様の生命力の結晶なのです。それを無駄に垂れ流すことは、ご自身の命をドブに捨てているのと同じことでございます。お金がないことへの不安、老後への恐怖、それは、皆様が過去にお金に対して真摯に向き合わず、学ぶ努力を怠り、安易な消費に逃げたことへのしっぺ返しなのです。貧困という地獄は、多くの場合、日々の小さな浪費と怠慢の積み重ねによって作られます。ここでもやはり、ご自分への許しが元凶となっているのでございます。そして、時間でございます。これが最も罪深いことかもしれません。皆様は今日一日、何をして過ごされましたか。たまには息抜きも必要だとご自分に言い訳をして、何時間もの貴重な命を浪費してしまわれませんでしたか。時は金なり、ではございません。時は命なり、でございます。過ぎ去った時間は二度と戻りません。神が与えた平等な資産を無意に浪費することを、皆様はあまりにも簡単に許しすぎているのです。歴史上の偉人たちが偉業を成し遂げたのは、彼らが特別な天才だったからではありません。彼らが1分1秒を惜しみ、徹底的にご自分を律し、時間を創造活動につぎ込んだからです。彼らは、だらだらと過ごすご自分を許しませんでした。眠い目をこすり、遊びの誘惑を断ち切り、孤独に耐えて努力を積み重ねたのです。その結果としての栄光なのでございます。皆様が凡庸な人生に甘んじているのは、才能がないからではありません。時間の使い方が凡庸だからです。そして、その凡庸な時間の使い方を、皆様ご自身が許してしまっているからなのです。さらに申し上げれば、学びを放棄するご自分を許してはなりません。もう年だから覚えられない。学校の勉強は苦手だったから、そんな言い訳をして、新しい知識を得ることを諦めてはいらっしゃいませんか。世界は刻一刻と変化しております。昨日までの常識が今日は通用しない。そんな時代において、学ぶことを止めることは、精神的な死を意味いたします。知恵がないから騙されるのです。知恵がないから損をするのです。知恵がないから不安になるのです。無知は罪でございます。そして、無知なままでいることをご自分に許すことは、さらに重い罪だと言えましょう。本をお読みください。人の話をお聞きください。新しい技術に触れてください。脳に汗をかいてください。わからないで済まさないでください。わかるまで食らいつくのです。その執念こそが、皆様の魂を磨き、人生の荒波を乗り越える羅針盤となるのでございます。ここまで厳しく申し上げまして、皆様は耳が痛いことでしょう。胃がキリキリしていらっしゃるかもしれません。ですが、逃げないでください。この痛みこそが、皆様がまだ生きていらっしゃる証拠なのです。皆様の魂が変わりたいと叫んでいる証拠なのでございます。では、どうすればよいのでしょうか。地獄から這い上がり、 真の天国、すなわち、皆様ご自身の魂が喚起し、豊かさがあふれ出す人生を歩むには、どうすればよいのか。答えはシンプルでございます。許さないこと、これにつきます。誤解なさらないでください。常に腹を立てて生きなさいと申し上げているのではありません。常に他人を攻撃しろと言っているのでもないのです。私が申し上げたいのは、毅然と線引きをしてくださいということでございます。けじめをつけていただきたいのです。まず、他人に対して不当な扱いを受けたら、ニコニコ笑って許してはなりません。静かに、しかし力強くのを突きつけてください。私はそのような扱いを受け入れるつもりはありません。約束を守れないのであれば、今後一切の関係を断たせていただきます。そのように宣言するのです。怖いですか？嫌われるのが怖いですか？それで離れていくような人間なら、最初から皆様の人生に必要のないガラクタでございます。ガラクタを抱え込んで、宝石を拾う手がいっぱいになってしまっては意味がありません。捨ててください。惜しげもなく捨て去ってください。皆様が毅然とした態度を示したとき、初めて相手は皆様を一人の人間として尊重し始めます。あるいは、皆様の気迫に押され、去っていくことでしょう。どちらに転んでも、皆様の人生は浄化されるのです。真の人間関係とは、互いに甘え合うことではありません。互いに敬意を払い、互いの魂を磨き合うことです。厳しさのないところに、信頼など生まれません。皆様が許さないという剣を抜いたとき、初めて皆様の周りに本物の人間だけが残るようになるのでございます。次に、ご自分自身に対して、今日から、ご自分への安易な許しを禁じてください。明日やろうという言葉が口をついて出そうになったら、ご自分の方を張ってでも今やるのだと命じてください。失敗したとき、言い訳を探してご自分を慰めてはなりません。私の準備不足でした。私の甘さが出ましたと、痛みを直視してください。その痛みこそが、皆様を成長させる唯一の糧なのです。痛みを避けてまあいいかと絆創膏を貼るようなことはなさらないでください。傷口を開いて、そこから膿を出し切るのです。ご自分に対して鬼になってください。ご自分を厳しく律する者だけが、本当の意味でご自分を愛することができるのでございます。高い目標を掲げ、それに向かって血の滲むような努力をしているとき、人は輝きます。その過程で流す汗と涙こそが、魂の選択なのです。楽な道を選ぶご自分を許さないでください。流されるご自分を許さないでください。私はこんなところで終わる人間ではない。もっと高く、もっと遠くへ行けるはずだと、ご自分を信じるがゆえに、現状のご自分を許さないでいただきたいのです。具体的な実践法をお教えしましょう。許さないノートを作ってみてください。毎日、ご自分が許してしまったこと、他人に対して妥協してしまったことを書き出すのです。今日は上司の理不尽な要求を愛想笑いで受け流してしまった。今日は運動に行く予定だったのに、雨だからと休んでしまった。書き出すことで、皆様はご自身の弱さを客観視することができます。ご自分がどれほど安易に、ご自分や他人を許し、人生を浪費しているか、その事実に愕然となさるはずです。そして、その横に赤字でお書きください。次はどうするかを。次は上司に今は手一杯ですとお伝えする。次は雨でもご自宅で筋トレをする。こうして、一つ一つ、ご自分の中の甘えという雑草を引き抜いていくのでございます。地味な作業です。ですが、これを3ヶ月続けてみてください。皆様のお顔つきは別人のように引き締まり、放つオーラが変わっていることでしょう。また、言葉を変えてみてください。すみませんを封印なさってください。代わりにありがとうをお使いになるのです。他人に理不尽なことをされたとき、すみませんと謝ってはいけません。それは相手の罪を許し、ご自分が悪いと認める行為です。毅然とした態度で沈黙するか、あるいはご指摘ありがとうございます。ですが、私はこう考えますと堂々とご意見をおっしゃってください。言葉は言霊でございます。誤り癖がついている人間は、魂まで卑屈になってしまいます。でも、だって、どうせという言葉も禁句です。これらはすべて、ご自分を許し、行動しないための呪文なのです。やります。 できます。やってみせます。力強い言葉をお使いください。言葉が心を作り、心が現実を作ります。ご自分を鼓舞する言葉だけを口になさってください。弱音を吐いてはなりません。弱音を吐くご自分を許してはなりません。私は芸術を愛し、この世のあらゆる創造を楽しんでまいりました。書も、画も、陶芸も、すべてにおいて私は本物を追求いたしました。芸術において、一筆の迷い、一瞬の気の緩みは命取りでございます。まあ、これでいいかと妥協した作品など、魂の抜け殻です。見る人の心を打つことなどできはしません。人生とは、皆様ご自身が作り上げる壮大な芸術作品なのでございます。皆様は、ご自分の作品に泥が跳ねても、まあいいかと許されるのですか。絵の具が濁ってもこれも味だとごまかされるのですか。違うでしょう。真の芸術家は、妥協を許しません。一点の曇りもなく、ご自分の魂の色を表現しようと、キャンバスに向かって鬼気迫る執念を燃やすはずでございます。もし失敗したら、キャンバスを切り裂いてでも、一からやり直す気概をお持ちください。皆様の人生も同じです。くだらない人間関係という泥、怠惰というにこり、妥協という汚れ、それらを一切許さず、徹底的に排除し、皆様の魂が最も美しく輝く色で、一日一日を塗り上げていくのでございます。皆様ご自身が、ご自分という作品の批評家となってください。最も厳しい目で、ご自分の生き様を審査なさってください。今日の私は美しかったか。今日の私は全力を尽くしたか。今日の私は誇り高かったか。毎晩、お休みになる前に自問なさってください。そして、もし答えがノーであるなら、悔しがってください。枕を濡らすほど悔しがってください。その悔しさが、明日の皆様を強くするのでございます。どうか、忘れないでください。許さないということは、冷酷になることではありません。それは、ご自分の人生に対する責任を持つということでございます。ご自分の尊厳を守り抜くという覚悟を決めることでございます。私はいつでも見ておりますよ。皆様が、真の賢者として目覚める。その瞬間を、恐れてはなりません。迷ってはなりません。ただ、毅然として生きるのです。以上でございます。
To have a desire and to not shoot it in the foot every day with negative expectation. That's the whole process. We've enjoyed this interaction immensely. Well, you are remarkable in that you're among the rare humans who are recognizing your vibrational nature. And if you aren't fully recognizing it in this moment, you will before we are finished today, because it's all we ever talk about. The vibrational nature of you and of everything else. Most humans don't regard themselves much as vibration, even though you are primarily, predominantly that. Because you are so good at translating vibration into the physical reality through your seeing and hearing and smelling and tasting and touching, you don't realize you're doing it. You do it so naturally. But there's another sense, your emotional sense, that really is the vibrational translator that we want to focus on. It's what we always want to focus upon, because when you are aware of your emotions and what they mean, then you are able to consciously meld together the vibrational beingness that is you from source perspective, that part of you that existed before you came into this body, who still exists even though you are in this physical body. You're able to meld that part of you with this physical human personality part of you. Because your emotions are always your indicator of that vibrational proximity, that vibrational alignment or misalignment, that vibrational allowing of the fullness of who you are to be present and flowing to you and through you in this moment, or the resistance that is keeping that from happening. And we want to help you to realize that in every moment of any resistance, and resistance isn't a bad thing, although it's something that you want to learn to be aware of and to moderately control, that resistance that you are aware of because of any negative emotion that you might feel is always self-imposed, self-applied because of you in your physical body. It's your focus. No resistance is ever added to the equation from your non-physical standpoint. Now what that means is, as you've been here banging around in your physical body, sifting through the variety that surrounds you, you've naturally contoured a vibrational reality. In other words, when you know what you don't want, you know what you do want. You just can't have any moment in time that you are not perceptually looking for improvement and looking for the best possible scenario for yourself. Now, there are a lot of people that don't want to be that way. You want to be more humble, or you want to be more giving of others. But we submit to you that unless you are selfish enough to care about your own vibrational relationship with your own vibrational partners, meaning the source within you, then you have no chance of alignment, and then you have no chance of steadily flowing the fullness of who you are into any moment in time. And if you're not fully aligned and flowing the whole of you into the conversation, into the lovemaking, into the appreciation, into the awareness, into the conversation, into whatever it is that you're focused upon, then the diminishment that you experience as a result of not allowing the wholeness of you to be there is what you would describe as negative emotion, and it's what we would describe as self-applied by you resistance as a result of choosing thoughts in this moment that are not up to speed, are not equivalent, are not same as the thought that the source within you is thinking about the same thing in the same moment. For example, when you focus upon someone, anyone, could be a stranger, could be someone you live with and hate. Could be anyone. Could be a concept. Could be a government. Could be anything that you're focused upon. When you focus upon anything and you feel negative emotion while you're focusing, it always means one thing. It means your opinion, which is certainly a wonderful thing, and you have the free will to form it and will never stop it. Your opinion, or better said, your perspective, it's a softer word. And the perspective of source within you, who is focused upon this same thing right here, right now, in this moment where all that is converges, the source within you feels differently about the subject that you do if you ever feel negative emotion. And in fact, the negative emotion that you are feeling is that indication that you have a different perspective. Now, it doesn't necessarily, well, it sort of really kind of does mean that your perspective is wrong, because your perspective is your perspective. Whatever it is causing you to offer a vibration, and we really get why you have the beliefs that you have, because you've been holding perspectives. Maybe you picked it up from your family in your early days, or from television programs that you're watching, or from your peers that you are running around with. But as you form a perspective or an opinion, law of attraction will validate it, because law of attraction will match whatever you've got going on. So sometimes in your quest for rightness, you form an opinion, and law of attraction just validates that rightness. We just want to point out to you that if in the midst of that rightness you feel negative emotion, the source within you is holding a different opinion. The source within you is not calling you wrong, and not even trying to get you to think differently than you think. Just being who source is, loving as source loves, keeping the light on for you in case you want to stumble in. So many of you have been listening to us for a while, and in most cases you are rather up to speed with the things that we've been talking about. But today we're going to go into new places, because Who you are and who we are and who this all is cannot stand still. We are creators. We are joyous co-creators. And we are on a vibrational roll of masterful momentum where you are discovering through the framework of your own life experience things that matter to you. And in the same moment that you do, the source within you and the vibration that is us is aware of your new discoveries and your new desires. So we know everything that you want. We know, in better stated words, everything that you have become because of the life that you have been living. And most important, we know, the source within you knows who you are and what you want is in relationship to who you're being in any moment. So there's a constant path of least resistance being carved out for you. As you sift and sort and know what you don't want, you know what you do want. And you send a vibrational rocket or request. The source within you literally rides that rocket and becomes it and holds the vibrational equivalent of it. And there is a vibrational version of the expanded you that is more real than the physical manifested, so far realized version of you, but you don't know it sometimes, mostly, sort of, kind of, always. You're not really that aware of it because you're so accustomed to translating things through your senses that until it is a fully realized, meaning you can see it and hear it and smell it and taste it and touch it, reality, you don't give it much credence, even though it exists and is real. So those like us are constantly carving out paths of least resistance for you in order to help you find that which you have become, to help you fully realize it so it can be actualized in your experience. We want the money in the bank account that you can spend, not just in the virtual bank account where you have currently deposited it. In other words, we want you to realize the fullness of all that you have become. But before you can do that, you have to get the hang of this vibrational reality that we are all a part of. And you have to learn to read the vibrational nature of your being. And most important, you have to understand in any moment in time what you are doing right here, right now, because of the words you're speaking or the thoughts you're thinking, what you're doing right here, right now, vibrationally, in relationship to this vortex reality, this vibrational reality that is real, that is flowing to you and you to it through the path of least resistance. And it would come swiftly and easily if it were not for that thing you do which doesn't let it flow. And that thing you do which doesn't let it flow is beat the drum of the beliefs that shoot it in the foot. I want more money, but I don't have any money. I want more money, but there's not enough. I want more money. 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 You might have been saying that from time to time. I want more money. I want more money. I want more money. I want more abundance. I want to do more fun things with it. I want 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 it. But usually on the heels of that, but here's where I stand. Here's the money I've got. And the money I've got and the money I want aren't in the same place. Abraham. I want it, but I don't have it. And we want you to discontinue the I don't have it part, because in the focusing upon anything, you establish a vibrational relationship that in very short order, as little as 17 seconds, begins to produce momentum that carves out a path of least resistance or a path of most allowance. It's the same subject. A path of least resistance right to what you're focused upon. So you got to ask yourself, are you carving out the path of least resistance to plenty of money or to not enough money? And all you got to do is start paying attention to the airtime you're giving to the subjects. Because a lot of times, oh, we love you so much, you know what's coming next. That's always what we say before we say what we're going to say. We love you so much, however. So often you think that because you're talking about something that you desire and you're using positive sounding words and smiling while you say it, that you got it all covered. But it takes some awareness of two things: how you feel when you're saying it and what happens in terms of manifestation, in order for you to know what your practiced vibrational relationship is to the things you want. And we think that's the best definition we've ever given for what a belief is. It's a practiced vibrational relationship with something. A belief is just a thought you keep thinking. And a belief is what it is because of law of attraction. And law of attraction is the manager of vibrations. But even more, well, maybe not more, but even newer, law of attraction is the reason for all momentum. Because when you give your attention to unwanted things, you perpetuate the momentum of that unwanted thing, and you practice the vibrational frequency of it and make it more likely that it's going to continue. We also would like you to understand that you can get enough positive momentum going in a day to accomplish anything that you want, and that's hard for you to hear, but in time you will come to understand it. You're going to feel like the maestro, you're going to feel like the orchestra leader, you're going to feel like Harry Potter with the magic wand. You're going to begin to feel this leverage of energy that flows to you and through you, because you have the energy that creates worlds flowing with you. You've just got to understand it, what it feels like when you are flowing it and what it feels like when you're not. We love knowing that you are the creator of your own reality. And there is nothing that we want more for you to know than that you are the creator of your own reality. And most of you are understanding that. And we love so much helping you to discover the vibrational frequencies of your being and learning to contour them. We want you to know that you create your reality by contouring your thoughts, and that you don't do it all at once, but that you have a guidance system within you that will help you to do it. And you also have a very responsive universe all around you, giving evidence all day, every day, of what your vibrational frequency is. We're not asking anyone who is feeling bad to extract good things from negative conversations. You can't do it. But we are asking you to notice the difference in how you feel and make it sort of your life quest to feel as good as you can feel as often as you can feel good. And as you begin to accomplish that, then the manifestations that keep showing up in your experience will reflect it. Esther has had such a strong revelation of that just recently as she realizes the immediate correlation between the thought that she has just been entertaining and the depth and breadth of the energy and emotion in it and what happens or comes out of the mouth of the next person who walks through the next door. Right. It's like everyone is lined up ready to say, this is how you're feeling, 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 this is how you're feeling. And it really is like that. Every manifestation is this is how you're feeling, this is how you're feeling. But there's more to the message. This is how you're feeling, want to keep it. This is how you're feeling, want to keep it. This is how you're feeling, want to keep it. This is how you're feeling, like to let that go. Yes. So if this is how you're feeling and you want to keep it, get specific, milk it, milk it, milk it, milk it, milk it. Practice the vibration of any part of your life you want to keep. This is how you're feeling, want to keep it. No, go general. Go general, go general, go general. And what you'll begin to discover in a very short period of time is you can clean up your vibration with all of these helpful subjects that are coming to you incrementally and in bite-sized pieces, enough that you can resolve them. And it is our promise to you, the manifestation will come so fast on the heels of it that you will not doubt your power of manifestation. Sometimes what happens too is that as you're thinking about it and talking about it and getting more of it, as you're offering vibrations and you're not keenly aware, so you're not looking for the correlation between what you were feeling and what you're getting, what happens is the buffer of time, which is only your perception, between your asking for something and your receiving of something is so extended that when it comes, you often don't make the correlation, except on big things. On big things, you really, really suffered, and then finally you get to a place of allowing it. When it comes, you just can't miss it because there were too many specific details that you put into it. But what we really want you to feel is that as you get a bead on this absolute knowing that your emotions are a manifestation that are reflecting back to you where you are. And then you begin doing something about that, remembering that everything you want is because you want to feel good anyway, so why not get the manifestation of how you want to feel anyway, and then let the details be filled in later on. It's really, really a wonderful thing. Well, the thing is, the sooner you get to the specific positive, the more delicious your life will be. But you just can't get there from there sometimes. And when you try, you don't make the jump.
No, I'm like, I like my cats.
That really is the point that we make with these affirmation cards.
Right.
So I don't have enough money. I really want some money. I heard these are good. Abraham's brilliant. They only cost too much. And they're beautifully illustrated. And I will praise success wherever I see it. And as soon as I see some, I will.
Right.
My what is need not influence my what is becoming. Well, blah, 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 blah. We are each responsible for the thoughts we think. I am in deep, deep doo-doo. My life is as good as I allow it to be. I get so sick of being responsible for everything. I'm always receiving the essence of what I'm giving. Oh, crap. I can transform my own world. I can transform my own world. I can transform my own world. Shortage of time and money are perceptual. I can see my world through the eyes of Source. If Source would look harder, that might be true. So these affirmation cards are annoying if I am approaching them from outside the vortex, because what it does is it amplifies what I already believe, because every subject is really two subjects: what is wanted and the absence of it. So depending upon where you are when you start affirming, or when you start probing, or when you start trying, it's like just digging in your heels. Haven't you ever had a conversation where you believe something and somebody else believes something else, and the more you talk, the more firm you each were on your opposite positions? And it's not because you're defiant, it's because you're keeping alive a vibration that is pulling you in that direction. So when you stop doing that, you just say, oh, later dater, I don't have to figure this out now, and I'll figure it out in good time, and I don't like this, but I'll just let it go for now. As you do your best to de-emphasize the energy around the specifics of the unwanted, then you begin to vibrationally move. So let us be very clear about this. When you really, really know that you don't want something, that means you really, really do know what you do want. But there's a stronger vibrational tug of war going on in that, that you can accomplish, but it takes more focus. If you sort of know you don't want it, then you sort of know you do want it. And it's easier to make that, except you have less inspiration to do it. In other words, sometimes the things that bother you the most are the things that bring the most inspiration from you. When something really, really bothers you, what you really, really want is really, really strong. It's just that you have to overcome all of that, what you really, really don't want. And we think most all of you are working too hard at all of this. We want to say to you that there could be 10 really important things that you want, and 9 of them not working out at all right now. If you're taking score, having conversations with your girlfriends, blogging about it, joining lists about it, what you're noticing is hardly everything's working. There's just this one thing that's working. And we want to say, if you would focus upon that one thing that is working and use it as your basis of your point of attraction, the other 9 things would come into alignment, and they would come into alignment fast. But most people are so problem-oriented that they feel like they have to get to the bottom of the problem. And we want to say to you, there is no bottom. There's no bottom, because it gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. The more specific you are, the deeper it gets. So stop it and go general. And as you go general, then what's really delicious is to keep reaching for the improvement that is also never ending. In other words, it is such a wonderful thing to stand where you are and know that you're not where you want to be. But know that you're in a good place, mostly because you know that you know that you know that you're not where you want to be. In other words, my guidance system is showing me that I am offering a vibration that isn't serving me right now, and that's a really good thing to know. So now you're working. We've offered processes. Every process we've ever offered is to assist you in releasing resistance and move more in the direction of what you're wanting. Pick the ones you like, leave most of them alone, and just do what we're telling you today, because it's the thing that's the most efficient from where most of you are. Just go general and you'll feel better. So as you go general, as you are feeling better, what happens is then the manifestations begin to occur to you. The first manifestations of what is wanted that begin to occur is an emotion. Next, you will begin to feel some thoughts will come into your mind. It feels like inspiration. Next, people will begin commenting. Things begin moving. In other words, it happens really, really fast. The manifestations begin to reflect your improved vibrational stance. So now, what has just happened? I knew what I didn't want, which meant I knew what I did want, sort of, although I couldn't speak it very clearly. But I did know that I wanted to feel better, so I did my best to find better feeling thoughts. And in doing so, I came into alignment with what I wanted, where formerly I was more in alignment with the absence of what I wanted. So now I'm more in alignment with what I want, and now I stand in this new place because manifestations that support my movement have now taken place. And now my set of contrasting experiences has shifted. It's improved. It's still contrasting. It's shifted. It's improved. It's changed. So now I start again. I start sifting through the contrast, know what I don't want, know what I do want. But I'm not practiced at what I do want. I'm more practiced at what I don't want. So I look at it, I think about it, I talk about it, I try to find the general place of it, and I start enjoying the deliciousness of getting more specific about it. And as I'm more specific about it, as it manifests to the specifics that I have specified, I begin to feel my worthiness return. I begin to feel my power. I begin to remember who I am. I begin to notice the correlation between the specific things I'm asking for and the specific things that the universe is giving me. And now they manifest. And now I'm off and running. Oh boy, I can feel the power of the universe. But did that mean that the universe took all negative things away? Is it now not possible for me to find out that dolphins are being herded and eaten? Is it now possible for me? In other words, did the whole world turn good just because I spent a day in the vortex? No. Right. It's still the same wonderful, diverse place that you knew it would be when you came forth to sort and sift through it in order to decide what you wanted. So there it still is in all of its diversity, but you are controlling the diversity more because you are more in the vortex. Now you don't have this much of the world to choose from. Now you have more like this much of the world to choose from. You've already honed it down. Now you're choosing from things I like and things I really like and things I really, really like rather than things I really, really like and things that I abhor. In other words, as you keep honing your energy and keep fine-tuning your energy, the universe is delivering to you more of what you want. Now you're getting more specific, and now it's delivering more specifically, and now you're getting more specific, and now the universe is delivering more specific. Until in time, and not very far from now, you begin to feel the reason that you came forth into this physical experience. Not to fix broken things, but to be inspired to new joyful becomings, you say. When you feel negative emotion, that means what you're focused upon is in opposition of Source, and it's not fixed until you're in agreement with Source. And how can you trust Source? You were Source before you got here. You are Source now. You've been honing it out. You've been putting it in there. Source knows everything that you want, that you think would make the world a better place. Not only what you want, but what everybody else wants. And Source collects the best of all of it and holds itself in vibrational alliance, compliance, and readiness with all the good stuff. You're making a lot of noise with those cookies. All of the good stuff, all of the good stuff, all of the good stuff. Source holds complete alignment with all of the good stuff that you're wanting. And as you work yourself into vibrational alignment with all of that good stuff, what begins to happen is that good stuff begins to reflect itself back into your experience in the precise way that you said you wanted it to happen. And if you don't let too much gap go between your launching of the desire and your receiving of the manifestation, then you know your power. If you let too much time go, because goodness is happening. Sometimes it goes from generation to generation. Sometimes it's 3 or 4 or 5 generations later to find the peace or the gift in something, you see. We just don't think you should have to croak in order to reap the benefit of what you put into your vortex. Right. That's the whole point of all of this conversation, you see. Okay. Really. We make too much of all of it. But the reason that we do is because you ask sometimes for things that you're not quite ready to hear in the fullness. When we begin with you, the first thing that we said to a group as Esther was receiving us was, if there is something that life has shown you that you want, and you believe it, then it is. In full manifestation. In other words, if you want it and believe it, then it must be. And there's evidence all around you of that alignment. Well, those are nice sounding words, but most people, they thought, at least at that time, that to believe something just meant to say it. I believe these affirmations. I believe this. I believe these annoying things. I believe them. And we say, what you believe is the vibration that you keep practicing. And the question is, are you practicing a vibration that is in alignment with what you really want and what the source within you believes, or something different? And you can tell by the way you feel. But if we begin by saying to you, well, just get happy, do you hear how many people just laugh about that? You got to be pretty unhappy before being happy is high on your list of things to do.
Right.
And when it is, then it is our knowing that you will find a way. And so that's really what we are talking about all day, every day.
Okay.
Getting right to the essence of who you are, and then reflecting that power back into manifestation.
So just letting yourself be, don't worry about all that other stuff, and stop thinking.
Think about how it is for a lot of people where they say, I will join a movement in order to positively affect this, and then we will all be happier in the achievement of it. And now you are here really understanding how backwards that is. Because while you're on your movement and pushing against whatever it is that you don't want, you're holding yourself out of vibrational alignment with the very solutions you seek.
Right.
So when you understand that the problem and the solution are different frequencies, even the question and the answer are different frequencies, but you're here to do both. You're here to probe at the problem in order to create the solution, but then in order to retrieve the solution and manifest the solution, you got to line up with the solution. And now you know what? You all know exactly how to do that. You know exactly how to do that. You're not confused about this, are you? Isn't this idea of going general, doesn't it feel liberating to you? Aren't you eager to go apply it to the next thing that sort of gets in your face and makes you feel uncomfortable?
Right.
Esther has said, she's been laughing about it recently, Abraham, I don't have to line up, I've got people. I don't have to fix that, I can just call someone. I have lots of effective people around me that will wrestle that to the ground and get it in its right place. But as you were saying, you'd never wrestle it to the ground. It keeps coming up in another way and in another way and in another way and another way and another way. You can't get enough people to put out the brush fires that you're setting as you're running around with torches and dragging them in the dry brush. In other words, there's just not enough of them, you see. But when you finally get it, that how you feel really matters, and that's what you give your attention to, then everything comes into alignment. And it feels like, it's really a funny thing, it feels like finally the universe is cooperating with what I want. And we say, you were the last holdout. The universe has been cooperating.